Hello and welcome to Italian Serie A Matchday 36. Only 3 games left. Leo, I'm sure now, Napoli fans and Inter fans are very happy with the season. So we might see Napoli champions. We will analyze the schedule after this game. And Inter Milans are in the final of Munich.
Absolutely. It's amazing what Simone Inzaghi's team have achieved. 2 finals of the Champions League in the last 3 years, and Napoli for sure celebrated that last night, because now in their minds it's like, okay, Inter is going to focus on the Champions League. They're going to leave us alone with the 𝐬𝐭𝐴𝐵𝐻. But anyway, we keep saying that the fixtures are looking nice for Napoli and everything. It seems that Antonio Conte is going to win the 𝐬𝐭𝐴𝐵𝐻 with 3 different teams at the end of the season.
Well, I think Inter fans will be very happy getting the Champions League is the main goal of the season and not the 𝐬𝐭𝐴𝐵𝐻. They've been just crowned champions of the 𝐬𝐭𝐴𝐵𝐻, so I'm 100% sure that they prefer to be in the current situation right now. But we have plenty to talk about, because also the fight for the Champions League is really hot, for the relegation. So everything is really hot in Italy. So guys, stay with us. Of course, if you enjoy our videos, press the like and subscribe. And now let's go on with the show. And we have a game on Fridays, Milan Bologna. Interesting one, because we are going to see this game only 5 days later in the Coppa final, Coppa Italia final. So it's going to be a friendly, no, it's not a friendly game actually, because Bologna are fighting for the Champions League spots. But we are going to see this game. Again, Leo, and Milan won last week as well, and Bologna are only 1 point away from Juventus, from Roma. The draw is not enough, or was not enough, for them to stay in the European spots against Juventus. So I don't know how you see it, because Milan are very strong away lately, but not when they are playing at home.
Yes, that is true, but at the same time, no, I don't know, Milan is giving you like a mixed vibes. No, there are moments when they are like playing good football, and you can think, okay, there's no pressure on them, because whatever they do now at this time, it doesn't matter too much, because European qualification is a bit difficult for them. Although, look at, if they win on Friday, which is a very decent game we are having for a Friday night in Serie A. If Milan wins on Friday, they're going to reach 60 points. Then Matchday 37, they are playing with Roma at the Olimpico, so they could probably think of some Europa League spots if they win this the next 2 games. But it seems to me as well very little too late for Milan, which is true. Away from home, away from San Siro, they're delivering a little bit better performances, and they're scoring more also lately than at San Siro. Although we always expect, okay, playing at home and with the attacking threat they have, this could be a goals market, could be one to be looking at in this Milan and Bologna. Rafa Leao scoring last week to win from behind. Another game in which they are winning from behind this season, or in the last 2-3 months. Parma, Lecce, all these games that they won, 𝐿𝐵𝐻𝐵 as well, and now last week against Genoa as well, winning from behind for this 𝐜𝐭𝐴𝐧𝐧𝐞𝐜's team. Rafa Leao starting from the bench, which usually we tend to see, or at least this season, the best from Rafa Leao when he comes from the bench. When he's starting, his performances are not that good. Well, is the inconsistency of his career, because he's, of course, a very, very talented player. And as for Bologna, Edu, another draw, yes, last weekend against Juventus, this time direct rival, is not bad when you're still only 1 point behind Juve and Roma in the 4th and 5th spot. But the real issue with Bologna has been the draw against Udinese on Matchday 34. I think that one is the one that is hurting them more now. Let's remember that the 4th spot won't be decided in a playoff if we have like one or more than one teams, if we have more than 2 teams equal on points, because we are going to have a playoff to decide the Serie A if that happens between Inter and Napoli, and we could have a playoff to decide relegation, but it's not going to happen with the fourth spot, which is going to be decided on the results between those of three teams who are equal on points. If everything remains the same, then it's goal difference. If everything remains the same, then it's the goals they have scored this season, and ultimately it's gonna be a draw. Bologna away. What I said lately, that draw with Udinese. Before that, they lost against Atalanta on the road. But this time, a draw, a point will mean anything. Will mean nothing for Bologna. That's why I expect a little bit a game which could open up a little bit more, especially in the second half. That's why my take here is goals over 2.5, odds of 1.98.
Well, really important this game for Bologna, not much for Milan, but it's interesting, again, since we are going to see this game again in the Coppa Italia final next week at the Olimpico di Roma. And Saturday, first game is Como Cagliari. Cagliari almost safe, not mathematically, actually, but virtually, yes, they are 7 points above Venezia, so we can say that they are safe. And what a season for Como. We are saying this week after week after week, but they keep winning. Leo, 5 consecutive wins, only one goal conceded in those 5 wins. Now they are comparing Cesc Fabregas with Guardiola, with with all the big managers, only in his first season as a top flight manager.
Yes, too early, but it doesn't mean that what he's doing or his team is doing is not outstanding this season. Of course it is. We've been talking of Como getting into the conversation for a 10th finish, and they are. At the moment they are 10th, and that will be amazing for a team that was away from Serie A for the previous 23 years. 5 consecutive wins, 6 games undefeated, 4 consecutive clean sheets, which is also very impressive, Edu, for a team that have conceded 48 goals all season. They got lucky a little bit as well with Parma, that's true, because Matteo Pellegrino missed a complete sitter at the end of the first half, and the game was 0-0. Then in the second half, with the game still 0-0, again Matteo Pellegrino hit the woodwork. So yes, Como got lucky in a way. Estrefesa scoring again, second consecutive game for him scoring. So 2 goals and 6 points for Como in the last 2 weeks, and for Estrefesa. The important thing I believe with Como, Edu, is like, we keep saying that they are fine with the relegation. They are not looking down for a couple of weeks already, but the standards and the mental determination has not dropped lately for Como, which is very good. I thought, okay, maybe now they're gonna collapse mentally because they done the job, they survived. But no, that's not the case. So that's very important for them. Now comes Cagliari, then Verona, before closing Serie A against Inter. So Como could potentially help decide the title. Cagliari 3 defeats in the last 4, the last one at home against Udinese. As we said last show, there was a party mood in Sardinia. They equalized with Sortea's 6 goals of the season. Not bad for a defender now playing in midfield, but Udinese was the best on the afternoon in Sardinia last weekend. The odds on Como are good, Edu, and that's my route. Como to win 1.78.
All right, let's look to more important games. Next one is crucial. What a game this one. Lazio, Juve, both level with 63 points, same as Roma. We have a triple draw there at 63 points. So this is key for the Champions League fight. Lazio beat Empoli with the scoring the winner, but at home, Leo, they are in really bad form. It's 5 consecutive draws. It's only 1 win in the last 10 Serie A games when they are playing at home. And Juve drew with Bologna. Still, I think it's normal that we don't have many certainties also about Juventus. And Tudor has not won away yet also with Juventus.
Absolutely, and that's the case. A team Lazio who's not been able to win at home, and a team like Juventus that under Tudor has not won yet away from home. The last win on the road for Juventus was in February in Sardinia against against Cagliari. They will know by then, by the time of the kickoff, the result of Bologna. So if the Rossoblu wins, Juventus will need to win to reclaim the fourth spot. For Lazio, defeat Edu will mean goodbye to their Champions League hopes. So we're going to see. I think it's going to be very important how was the score or was the result in that Milan-Bologna thinking into this game. For Juve, it's very important as well because after Lazio, they're going to close the season with Udinese and Venezia. So basically, if by Saturday, Edu, Juventus manages to keep that fourth spot, then it's difficult to think of them throwing away the chance in the last 2 match days. Again, I repeat, Udinese and Venezia for them. Lazio done the job against Empoli, and they needed only 58 seconds to score with 𝗲𝗲𝗍𝗂, 9 goals this season for him. Still far from his best Serie A campaign when he scored 16, but that was with Salernitana. But still, an important goal, the one with Empoli to win 1-0 away. The bookies, I will say, Edu, are pointing to a draw. I wouldn't be surprised at the same time if that happens between Lazio and Juventus at the Olimpico. No Cup minors, no 𝗵𝗲𝗍𝗀. At least by the time we are talking, we will see if any of those two players make it to the bench. And I'm saying this for anyone looking for individual markets. Of course, check always before the game. I said, wouldn't be surprised for a draw here, but my take is both teams to score yes, 1.91.
Very difficult to trust Juventus, in my opinion, but at the end, they are a big club and they usually make the job, but everything is very open in this Champions League fight. Then we have Empoli-Parma. This is key for the relegation battle. Empoli keeps losing, but they are still alive. We mentioned it in the video. Leo, this is a joke. It's 20 games without a win, but still they are only 2 points away from Lecce. So if they beat Parma, they can stay in Serie A, and they have a good schedule. They have Monza and Verona. So they are winnable games, all three. And Parma, they are right now 6 points away from Venezia, so almost safe. But still, they need a draw because they have a tough schedule. They have Napoli, Atalanta, so they could lose all 3 games easily.
Yes, absolutely, and I'm not surprised to see those high odds on Parma, which is good for us, or what we believe, to be honest. But yes, I think I said it last show that for Empoli, the Serie A was going to start now on this match day against Parma. It's not serious, to be honest, that you are not winning for 20 games, losing 7 out of the last 10, and you are still having chances to survive. But that it is what it is. It's a big miss for Empoli that Lorenzo Colombo won't be playing. He's the goal scorer of the team with 5 goals. Of course, it's not a lot, but we are talking about Empoli here. And it was a very stupid way of being sent off against Lazio. 2 yellow cards in 5 minutes before the break. I couldn't understand that. I mean, no one was expecting Empoli to equalize or to win from behind after they fall 1-0 down in the first minute of the game against Lazio, and they seem, to be honest, a little bit content by losing by just 1 goal margin, and especially once they were down to 10 men. For Parma, the defeat against Como was the first one anyway in the last 8. But this is Parma, no? At the end of the day, no defeats with Inter, Juventus, Fiorentina, and Lazio before Como, but struggling against a side of their league. But they had chances. Matteo Pellegrino hitting the woodwork and missing a sitter, as I said before when I talk about Como. The last home win for Empoli, that was in November. They will sign straight away something like that for Saturday. But I'm looking at the odds for Parma. I like them. My take here is double chance Parma, 1.7.
Indeed, it's impossible. Guys, do not take the odds for Empoli, even if they win at the end. It's absolutely nonsense backing this team. For Sunday, we have Udinese Monza, nothing on stake. Here, we should look at Udinese to win. Leo, good odds is 1.5. They ended their bad run against Cagliari, and to put it in your ACCA, Leo, is a good idea.
Yeah, it's not bad. And to be honest, yes, as you said, first I will take it all the way. Udinese to win 1.5, perfect. And finally, they broke the winless run of 6 matches, which included 5 defeats last weekend, winning against Cagliari 2-1. With Bologna on Matchday 34, they show glimpses. I said that last show of being the Udinese that was quite impressive not so long ago. Now with Cagliari, they were the better team for the 90 minutes, so it was a good 3 points on the road for Udinese. Monza, lost 9 of the last 10, and in the last 6 matches they have scored just 1 goal, so it's everything to look here is Udinese. So yes, I said the Udinese to win is good 1.5. I'm gonna combine it to bring the odds a little bit higher up. Udinese to win plus goals over 1.5, odds of 1.95, Edu.
Okay, Verona Lecce is the next one. This is interesting because we have Lecce only 1 point above Venezia, outside the relegation spots. Lost to Napoli after the draw against Atalanta, and they are playing against Torino and Lazio in the next games. Verona, they also need kind of a point to be absolutely sure to stay in Serie A.
Yeah, I mean, but for Bologna, this clash, I don't see it is going to have any consequences in terms of the relegation. Although yes, mathematically they still need to do the job. In San Siro against Inter, they went behind quite early in the first half. The second one was quite nervous. 3 consecutive defeats for them, 6 without winning for Verona. But I can't see Lecce, to be honest, pushing from the very beginning away from home. But it's a final for them. If Parma is the final for Empoli, Verona is a final for Lecce. 1 point above Venezia. A win will leave them 4 points on top with 6 to play, and that will transfer all the pressure for Venezia on Monday. But Lecce is winless since January, losing 8 of the last 11 matches. But lately, even in defeat, they've been competing. With Roma was 1-0, with Juventus 2-1. With Atalanta, they managed to draw. With Napoli, Napoli needed a Raspadori free kick to break them. It was a tense afternoon anyway in Via del Mare. Lecce's fans are against the Serie A authorities. The Serie A anthem was booed. All this because of the Serie A did not allow more rest, or did not allow Lecce to postpone more than 1 day their game against Atalanta when the first team physio passed away on the day of the game. So even the game against Napoli was stopped by 7-8 minutes because they were throwing flares into the pitch. Up to a point, it seemed that the game was being to call off. In the end, they managed to keep playing, and it was a defeat for Lecce. So a bit tense moments for Lecce at the moment. If these games open up, that is going to happen, I believe, in the second half. So my take here, first half draw, odds of 2.01.
Next one, Torino, Inter. Let's see if Inter are hungover after qualifying for the Champions League final. Is very likely, of course, hungover and tired because it was a great effort to beat Barcelona in the extra time. Also emotionally, like the game was a roller coaster. But now, Leo, let's see if they have the hunger of fighting for the Scudetto until the end. And this could be a pitch where they can drop points easily. Torino, they have nothing to play for. But who knows? I can see Inter dropping points in any game at this point.
Yes, and if they drop points in Turin against Torino, they could be dropping 2, because we know Torino, one of the kings of draws this season. So that's something as well to have in mind. And yes, I mean, the win or the pass to the Champions League final, in a way, it gives you this question, like, is now Inter going to have the strength to fight Napoli for the Scudetto because the emotions are high, or is the opposite? After what they have done, they're going to just focus on the Champions League and forgetting about the Scudetto. We'll see. With Verona, Inzaghi made 10 changes preparing for the second leg against Barca. I don't know if he's going to make 10 changes now going into this game with Torino, but they're going to need to rest some players. They're going to need to rotate some players. Lautaro Martinez played for 70 minutes. Dumfries, he was knackered when he left the pitch, and he provided the goal for 𝗀𝗏𝗏𝗀. 𝗀𝗏𝗏𝗀, one of the heroes for Inter, alongside 𝗀𝐿, and that speaks volumes of this project, because 𝗀𝐿, 37 years old, everything that happened to him, the cancer, alcoholism, being pointed as the replacement for Nesta when he was signed by Milan, did not happen. And now rediscovering a new youth with Inter, being instrumental for 𝗀𝐵𝗀𝗀. 𝗀𝗏𝗏 scored only 1 goal in Serie A all season. In the Champions League, he scored 1 before last night. So basically 3 goals all season, but who cares? He's going to be remembered long time with the goal he scored in the 92nd minute of the game against Barça. For Torino, kings of draw, as we've been saying. The more likely result between these two teams when Torino plays at home is 1-0. So I'm not someone who goes for exact results. It's not something I usually do, or almost never in this show, but just to have it in mind at least. And so that's why my take is goals under for this fixture. Could be a draw. I also see Inter dropping points, but if they drop points, it's going to be in a close encounter. So goals under 2.5. My take here, Edu, 1.91.
Well, we are seeing a lot of unders, we must say, in Serie A this season, and especially in this end of the season. So also I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see plenty of goals in this one, and also in the one for Napoli. Also, they are not huge scorers. Napoli only 55 goals scored this season, but very close to winning the Scudetto. Another step forward in the win at the 𝗵𝗏𝗀𝗀 in Lecce, with Raspadori this time scoring the winner. So it's 4 consecutive wins. And again, Leo, they are facing Genoa, nothing to play for. 3 defeats in a row for Genoa. And after this one is Parma. Maybe they are safe. And Cagliari, probably they are safe. So it's there. The Scudetto is just there for them to take.
Absolutely. At this point, it's Napoli to lose it. It is what it is. 7 points. That's what they need to lift the trophy, or less, depending on Inter results. But if and only if Torino gives Napoli a hand, the Partenopei could extend the lead by after Genoa. So another clean sheet for them last weekend. Another win 2-0, which is proving a winning card, and I won't stop using it, Edu. Not at all. There is a blow for Napoli anyway, which is Lobotka's injury. We will see if Billy Gilmour is going to replace him or Philip Billing. With Gilmour, you have someone who is more ready to build from the back. With Philip Billing, is more like a threat, an aerial threat that Conte can use, and he already had a few of them, especially with McTominay coming from behind in midfield. So yes, Raspadori's free kick was a crucial step towards the 4th Scudetto, which could be the 2nd one in the last 3 years for them. Conte changing system again, that's the most important aspect as well from Conte this season. Someone who we usually tend to believe he won't change his hands. He changed a lot. 4 at the back, 4-3-3. Then he went back to the 3-5-2, which is his preferred system, and now against Lecce he played with the 4-4-2 with Raspadori and Lukaku up front, with Matias Oliveira, usually a left back, playing a center back. First time the Uruguayan played as a center back with Conte. They need a little bit more from Lukaku. He almost scored. I'm saying almost because the VAR ruled a goal from him. He haven't scored a brace this season, Lukaku, so far. 12 goals and 12 goals in 12 different matches for him. I will go the Napoli to win 2-0 again, Edu. That's my take. 1.83. Napoli to win 2-0.
A classic from Antonio Conte. This is the fight for the Scudetto on Sunday evening, and we have 2 games more on Monday. Really, really important ones. Venezia Fiorentina is the first one. Fiorentina playing in conference against Betis, but in Serie A it's going to be very difficult for them to qualify for Europe after losing 1-0 at the Olimpico against Roma, but this game is crucial. For Venezia, 1 point below Lecce, draw after draw, Leo, they might get safe if Lecce keep losing. Venezia facing Cagliari and Juventus next.
Yeah, that's the thing, that they are closing the season away in Turin with Juventus. But there is good news for Venezia, that because if Lecce and Empoli lose their games, they will start on Monday knowing that even if they lose with La Viola, they will still have a chance of survival, because, as you said, the next one is Cagliari, and then we will see. They're going to have to play everything on Matchday 38 in Turin. So, but 4 points in the next 6 could be crucial for Venezia. So Fiorentina and Cagliari are absolutely crucial for them. They had 2 draws in the last 3 matches. With Torino, they could not hold on to the lead they have. Fiorentina is at the back of that defeat with Roma, playing on Thursday night with Betis, the second leg semi-final of the Conference League. They're going to be looking to reach the Conference League final for the first season in a row. Being 4 points behind 4 spots, and with 4 teams also sandwiched in front of them, I can't see Fiorentina being in the mix for Champions League football next season. They were unlucky anyway with Roma. I liked Fiorentina at the Olimpico. 𝗲𝗏𝗏 was man of the match, absolutely, against Fiorentina. But they will need to be, of course, more efficient against Betis on Thursday night. It was difficult for Fiorentina at the Olimpico because Roma defended very, very, very deep. And now Venezia on Monday, they will, against Venezia, Fiorentina is going to have the ball again, because Venezia is going to say, do whatever you want. We're going to try to play or try to hurt you at the break. So, of course, Fiorentina the favorite here. We're going to have to see what happens with Betis, if there's going to be a rotation or not going into this game. But my take here, Edu, Fiorentina, draw no bet. Fiorentina, draw no bet, 1.67.
And the last one, what a game this one, Atalanta, Roma. We have Roma really as the underdog here. I'm so surprised. 4.2, remember that they haven't lost in the 20 games. Basically for Roma, they are the best team in the second part of the season. And they have also the record of 1-0 this season. 1-0 wins is the third in a row, actually, the win against Fiorentina. 1-0. Atalanta also in good form now. 10 points out of the last 12. They have the Champions League spot almost there. 5 points distance with Juve, Roma, and Lazio. And after this, they are playing Genoa and Parma for Roma. Leo, this is the toughest game for sure. And then they play Milan, probably tired after the Coppa final, and Torino. So if they win here, the Champions League spot is almost there for both, actually.
Yeah. For Atalanta, it's more secure. Or at least in my mind, I have Atalanta as a Champions League team for next season. And with Roma and Ranieri, I mean, I know I keep saying that every single show about Ranieri, but this is a reality. He took the team 4 points above the relegation zone, and now they are their level on points and Champions League spots with Juventus. Since Ranieri took over Roma, only Napoli got more points. 51 points Napoli, 50 points Roma. Since Ranieri took over, that is 50 points in 23 games for Claudio Ranieri and Roma against Fiorentina. I said before, they defended very deep. Was joyful to watch. Maybe not. Of course, Roma is not Barca. That's for sure. But still, absolutely impressive. 4-4-2. With Shomurodov and 𝗀𝗏𝗏𝗀 playing both from the start, something which we don't see very often. Both towers playing together. 𝗀𝗏𝗏𝗀 scoring the winning goal at the end of the first half. 12 goals this season for 𝗀𝗏𝗏𝗀. Still far away from the 24 he scored for Girona, but if he manages to score one or two more between the game and Atalanta and the end of the season, that's going to be good for him, especially when with Roma fighting there to get into the Champions League. Atalanta did the job, yes, against Monza. Not much to take from that game in that 4-0 win on the road. The good thing, the 𝐿𝐴 scoring a brace, 7 goals this season for him, but they were the first 2 goals, or the first goals he scored in 2025, the 𝐿𝐴. Ademola Lookman also scoring. They were missing only Retegui in the score sheet, but Retegui at least provided an assist for Lookman's goal. Great game, to be honest, to finish this match day 36 Atalanta-Roma. The odds on Roma are surprisingly high, and I'm going that route, Edu. Roma, double chance, 1.85.
Yeah, I'm surprised also to see these odds. The head-to-head is really bad for Roma against Atalanta. No wins since March 2022. So it's been a while. Well, guys, remember, of course, we have ready our tipster competitions for you, where you can win some cash money, and also you can create your own tipster competitions thanks to rivals. So plenty of information and data in Oddspedia to place your bets in Serie A. Leo, let's go with your safe bet.
Udinese to win, 1.5.
And your ACCA?
Milan, Bologna, goals over, 1.5. Torino Inter, goals under, 2.5. And Napoli to win, 2-0. These three together, odds of 4.54. The last ACCA was all right. Hopefully, this one on Matchday 36 will provide the same.
Good one, Leo Bachanian. Thank you very much. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.